gentlemen, seekers of wisdom, travelers on the path of self-discovery. We gather here today to delve into the profound mysteries of the human psyche. In our exploration, we shall draw upon the teachings and insights that have long been the foundation of my life's work. As we begin, let us contemplate the nature of relationships, particularly those that mirror our deepest vulnerabilities and shadows. It is within these reflections that we often find the enigmatic figure of the narcissist, a persona that enters our lives not as a soulmate, but as a mirror, reflecting back to us the unresolved fragments of our own souls. When we speak of narcissists, we must first understand the archetype of Narcissus, a figure from Greek mythology who fell in love with his own reflection. This tale is not merely a story of self-obsession, but a cautionary parable about the dangers of self-absorption and the inability to see beyond the surface of things. In our modern lives, the narcissist presents an image that captivates and ensnares, drawing us in with charm and charisma. Yet, beneath this facade lies a profound emptiness, a void that seeks to consume the energy and vitality of others. In my studies of the psyche, I have often emphasized the importance of the shadow, those aspects of our personality that we repress or deny. The narcissist, in many ways, embodies this shadow. They become the mirror through which we are forced to confront the parts of ourselves that we would rather keep hidden. Their presence in our lives serves as a catalyst for self-reflection, urging us to delve deeper into our own unconscious minds. Consider, if you will, the dream imagery that often accompanies encounters with narcissistic personalities. In dreams, we may find ourselves standing before a mirror, only to see a distorted or unfamiliar image staring back at us. This is the unconscious mind's way of alerting us to the presence of the shadow. It is a call to integrate these disowned parts of ourselves, to bring them into the light of consciousness where they can be acknowledged and transformed. The narcissist, then, is not merely a villain in the narrative of our lives, but a teacher, albeit a harsh one. They compel us to examine our own needs for validation and approval, our own tendencies towards self-obsession, and our own fears of inadequacy. Through this examination, we begin to understand that the journey towards self-realization and individuation requires us to embrace the totality of our being, both the light and the dark. In the realm of romantic relationships, the allure of the narcissist often masquerades as the promise of a soulmate connection. Yet, this is an illusion, a projection of our own unmet desires and longings. True soulmate, as I have come to understand them, are those who support our growth and evolution, who challenge us to become our highest selves. In contrast, the narcissist draws us into a cycle of dependency and emotional turmoil, mirroring back to us our own unresolved inner conflicts. To navigate these treacherous waters, we must cultivate a deep sense of self-awareness and self-compassion. We must learn to listen to the whispers of our intuition, to trust the wisdom of our inner selves. In doing so, we begin to discern the difference between the false promises of the narcissist and the genuine connections that nourish our souls. Let us also consider the role of projection in our interactions with narcissists. Projection, as you may know, is a psychological defense mechanism whereby we attribute our own unacceptable thoughts, feelings, and motives to another person. In the presence of a narcissist, we may find ourselves projecting our own unmet needs and desires onto them, seeing in them the qualities we wish to possess or the validation we seek. This projection creates a powerful, yet deceptive bond, one that is difficult to break, for it is rooted in our own unconscious longings. To break free from this cycle, we must embark on a journey of self-discovery, one that requires us to face our own shadows and integrate them into our conscious awareness. This process is not easy, for it demands that we confront the parts of ourselves that we have long denied. Yet, it is through this confrontation that we find true liberation and the ability to form authentic connections with others in the realm of the collective unconscious. The narcissist serves as a reminder of the dangers of unchecked ego and the importance of cultivating humility and empathy. In a world that often glorifies self-promotion and individualism, the narcissist is a symbol of the shadow side of these cultural values. They remind us of the need to balance our own desires with the needs of others, to cultivate a sense of interconnectedness and compassion. As we continue this exploration, let us not forget the power of symbols and archetypes in our understanding of the narcissist. The mirror, as I have mentioned, is a potent symbol of self-reflection and introspection. It calls us to look beyond the surface and to confront the deeper truths of our own being. The shadow, too, is an archetype that speaks to the hidden aspects of our personality, those parts that we must integrate if we are to achieve wholeness. In conclusion, the presence of a narcissist in our lives is not a curse, but an opportunity for growth and transformation. They are the mirrors that reflect back to us the unresolved aspects of our own psyche, urging us to embark on the journey of self-discovery and individuation. By embracing this journey, we move closer to our true selves. And in doing so, we find the strength to form genuine, soulful connections with others. Let us embrace the lessons of the narcissist, not as enemies, but as guides on the path to self-realization. As we delve deeper into the labyrinthine corridors of the psyche, we must acknowledge the profound influence of archetypal forces that shape our interactions with those who embody the narcissistic persona. These archetypes, embedded within the collective unconscious, are not mere figments of imagination, but are timeless patterns of behavior and experience that resonate across the tapestry of human history. One such archetype is that of the trickster, a figure who embodies paradox and change, often disrupting the status quo to bring about transformation. The narcissist, in many ways, assumes the role of the trickster, challenging our perceptions and forcing us to confront our illusions. Through their disruptive presence, they compel us to reevaluate our beliefs about love, worth, and identity. Though this confrontation may be uncomfortable, it is necessary for our growth, as it dismantles the false constructs we have built around ourselves. In the realm of personal myth, The journey with a narcissist can be likened to the hero's journey, a path fraught with trials and tribulations, yet rich with potential for self-discovery and enlightenment. As we navigate this journey, we encounter the threshold guardians of our own psyche, those inner voices that whisper doubts and fears, urging us to retreat into the safety of the known, yet to achieve true individuation, we must summon the courage to press forward, to face the dragons of our own making, and to emerge transformed. The narcissist, as a mirror, also reflects the archetype of the anima or animus, the feminine or masculine aspects of our psyche that seek integration. In our interactions with them, we may project these inner figures onto the narcissist, perceiving them as the embodiment of our ideal partner or twin soul. This projection, however, is but a mirage, masking the deeper work that must be done within ourselves. By recognizing this projection, we begin the process of reclaiming our own anima or animus, integrating these energies into our conscious awareness and achieving a more balanced self. Dreams, those nightly voyages into the depths of the unconscious, often provide valuable insights into our entanglements with narcissistic figures. In the dreamscape, we may encounter symbolic representations of the narcissist, perhaps a figure of dazzling light or a shadowy presence that both attracts and repels. These dreams, laden with symbolism, serve as guides, illuminating the hidden dynamics at play and offering clues to our path forward. To interpret these dreams, we must cultivate a dialogue with the unconscious, listening to its messages with openness and curiosity. As we continue our exploration, let us also consider the role of the self, the archetype of wholeness and integration, which lies at the heart of our journey towards individuation. The self is the guiding force within us, the inner compass that leads us toward our true potential. In our encounters with narcissists, the self may be obscured, overshadowed by the intensity of the emotional dynamics at play. Yet, by turning inward, by cultivating a relationship with this inner guide, we can navigate the tumultuous waters of narcissistic entanglement with greater clarity and purpose. The process of individuation, as I have often emphasized, is not a linear path, but a spiraling journey that requires us to revisit our shadows, to confront our fears, and to embrace the totality of our being. In this process, the narcissist serves as a catalyst, propelling us towards greater self-awareness and authenticity. By embracing the lessons they offer, we move closer to the realization of our true selves, shedding the layers of ego and illusion that keep us bound in patterns of suffering. Let us also remember the importance of community and connection in this journey. While the narcissist often isolates us, drawing us into a world of their own making, it is through the support of others that we find the strength to break free. By sharing our experiences, by seeking the counsel of those who have walked a similar path, we gain perspective and insight, discovering that we are not alone in our struggles. In the end, the journey with a narcissist is one of profound transformation, a journey that challenges us to relinquish the false narratives we have constructed and to embrace the truth of our own being. It is a path that demands courage, resilience, and a willingness to confront the unknown. Yet, it is also a path that offers the promise of liberation, of stepping into the fullness of our potential and forging connections that are grounded in authenticity and love. As we conclude this exploration, let us carry forward the wisdom gleaned from our encounters with narcissists, allowing it to inform and enrich our lives. By doing so, we honor the journey of self-discovery and individuation, moving ever closer to the realization of the self, the ultimate goal of our human experience. May we walk this path with grace and courage, ever mindful of the transformative power that lies within, waiting to be awakened. In the continuation of our exploration of the narcissist as a mirror, we must delve further into the intricate weave of psychological and mystical concepts that illuminate this dynamic. It is essential to understand that the presence of a narcissist in one's life is not merely a chance encounter, but a reflection of the deeper currents flowing through our unconscious. These encounters often serve as the impetus for profound psychological and spiritual growth, urging us to transcend our current limitations and reach toward a more expansive understanding of self. The concept of synchronicity, which I have long posited, plays a crucial role in these encounters. Synchronicity refers to the meaningful coincidences that occur in our lives, seemingly by chance, yet carrying a deeper significance that speaks to the interconnectedness of all things. The presence of a narcissist may appear as one such synchronicity, a seemingly random occurrence that, upon closer examination, reveals itself as a pivotal moment in our journey toward individuation. It is as if the universe, in its infinite wisdom, has orchestrated this meeting to catalyze our personal evolution. As we navigate the complexities of these relationships, we must also consider the role of the ego and its defenses. The ego, in its quest for self-preservation, often constructs barriers that keep us from facing the truths that lie within. The narcissist, with their demands for attention and validation, often triggers these defenses, bringing to light the fears and insecurities that lurk beneath the surface. In this way, they serve as an unrelenting force that compels us to examine the structures of our ego and to question the narratives we have created about who we are. In this examination, we are called to embark on a journey inward, a descent into the depths of the psyche, where the true work of transformation takes place. This journey is akin to the alchemical process of nigredo, the blackening stage where the old self is dissolved to make way for rebirth. It is a process that requires us to confront the darkness within, to face the parts of ourselves that we have long denied or disowned. In doing so, we begin to transmute our suffering into wisdom, our pain into understanding. The narcissist, by reflecting our shadow, also invites us to engage with the archetype of the wounded healer. This archetype, embodied by figures such as Chiron in Greek mythology, reminds us that our wounds are not merely sources of pain, but gateways to healing and growth. Through our interactions with narcissists, We are given the opportunity to heal the wounds of our past, to transform the scars of our experiences into sources of strength and empathy. Consider to the role of boundaries in this transformative process. The narcissist often tests the limits of our personal boundaries, challenging us to assert our own needs and desires. In this way, they teach us the importance of self-care and the necessity of creating space for our own healing and growth. By establishing healthy boundaries, we protect our inner sanctum and allow ourselves the freedom to explore our own depths without fear of intrusion. As we continue to explore the psychological dimensions of these relationships, we must also embrace the mystical and spiritual aspects that underpin our journey. The narcissist, as a mirror, reflects not only our shadow, but the divine spark within our potential for greatness and wholeness. By recognizing this spark, we are called to awaken to our true nature, to align with the higher self that guides us toward our ultimate purpose. The integration of the shadow, as I have often emphasized, is not a one-time event, but an ongoing process that requires vigilance and commitment. It is a dance between the conscious and unconscious, a dialogue between the seen and unseen. In this dance, the narcissist plays an integral role, challenging us to remain aware and engaged, to question the assumptions we hold about ourselves and the world. In the end, the journey with the narcissist is one of profound transformation, an alchemical process that strips away the layers of illusion and reveals the truth of our being. It is a journey that demands courage, resilience, and a willingness to embrace the unknown. Yet, it is also a journey that offers the promise of liberation, of stepping into the fullness of our potential and forging connections that are grounded in authenticity and love. As we part ways today, let us carry forward the insights gained from this exploration, allowing them to inform and enrich our lives. By doing so, we honor the journey of self-discovery and individuation, moving ever closer to the realization of the self, the ultimate goal of our human experience. May we walk this path with grace and courage, ever mindful of the transformative power that lies within, waiting to be awakened. As we press further into the depths of our inquiry, let us turn our attention to the transformative potential that lies within the heart of adversity. In our encounters with narcissistic personalities, we face not only the reflection of our own shadow, but the opportunity to engage in a profound alchemical transformation. This transformation, much like the ancient art of alchemy, requires us to transmute the leaden aspects of our being into the gold of self-awareness and enlightenment. In the crucible of relationship, the narcissist becomes a catalyst for this inner alchemy, igniting the fires of transformation that burn away the dross of illusion and ego. This process, though often painful, is necessary for the emergence of the true self, a self that is not bound by the limitations of the ego, but is expansive and integrated, encompassing both light and shadow. To navigate this transformative process, we must first cultivate a deep and abiding sense of self-compassion. It is all too easy to succumb to judgment and self-recrimination to see our entanglements with narcissists as failures or weaknesses. Yet, in truth, these encounters are part of the soul's journey, a necessary step on the path toward wholeness. By viewing our experiences through the lens of compassion, we allow ourselves the grace to heal and to grow. In this healing process, the role of the inner child is paramount. The inner child, that vulnerable and innocent aspect of our psyche, often bears the brunt of our early wounds and traumas. In the presence of a narcissist, these wounds may be reopened, bringing to light the unmet needs and desires of our inner child. It is through nurturing and attending to this inner child that we begin to heal the past, to offer ourselves the love and validation that may have been lacking. The journey towards self-realization also requires us to engage in the practice of mindfulness and presence. Through mindfulness, we cultivate the ability to observe our thoughts and emotions without attachment or judgment, allowing us to gain clarity and insight into the patterns that govern our behavior. In the presence of a narcissist, mindfulness becomes a powerful tool, enabling us to remain grounded and centered, even amidst the emotional storms that may arise. As we deepen our practice of mindfulness, we become more attuned to the subtle currents of the unconscious, more aware of the archetypal energies that influence our interactions. We begin to discern the difference between the projections of the ego and the authentic truths of the self, allowing us to navigate our relationships with greater wisdom and discernment. In this journey of transformation, the role of creativity cannot be overstated. Creativity, in its myriad forms, offers us a pathway to express and integrate the complex emotions and insights that arise from our encounters with narcissistic personalities. Whether through art, music, writing, or other creative pursuits, we give voice to the inexpressible, allowing the unconscious to speak and to be heard. Through creativity, we also engage in the process of reauthoring our personal narrative. We are not bound by the stories of the past, but are free to create new narratives that reflect our growth and transformation. In doing so, we reclaim our power, stepping into the role of the conscious creator of our own lives. Another vital aspect of this journey is the cultivation of forgiveness, not only for the narcissist, but for ourselves. Forgiveness is not an endorsement of harmful behavior, but a release of the hold that past experiences have over us. It is an act of liberation, freeing us from the chains of resentment and allowing us to move forward with an open heart. As we cultivate forgiveness, we also deepen our connection to the divine, to the transcendent aspects of our being that lie beyond the confines of the ego. This connection, whether experienced through meditation, prayer, or other spiritual practices, offers us a sense of peace and purpose, reminding us of the greater tapestry in which we are all woven. In conclusion, the encounter with a narcissist, though challenging, is a profound opportunity for transformation and growth. It calls us to engage in the alchemical process of self-discovery, to embrace the totality of our being, and to awaken to the divine within. By doing so, we move closer to the realization of our true selves, to the embodiment of the self that is both individual and universal, both finite and infinite, May we continue to walk this path with courage and compassion, ever mindful of the lessons that life presents and the wisdom that lies within. Let us embrace the journey with open hearts and open minds, trusting in the transformative power of the soul to guide us toward wholeness and fulfillment. As we journey further into the exploration of the narcissist as a mirror, it is imperative that we turn our gaze inward, examining the intricate dance between the conscious and unconscious realms. This dance is one of profound significance, for it is within the interplay of these realms that the seeds of transformation are sown. The narcissist, with their compelling presence, serves as both a partner and a provocateur in this dance, urging us to explore the hidden recesses of our own psyche. Within the depths of the unconscious lie the archetypal energies that shape our perceptions and behaviors. These energies, though often unacknowledged, exert a powerful influence over our lives. Among them, the shadow looms large, embodying the aspects of ourselves that we have repressed or denied. The narcissist, as a mirror, reflects this shadow with startling clarity, challenging us to confront the parts of ourselves that we would rather keep hidden. In this confrontation, we encounter the paradox of the human condition, our simultaneous longing for connection and our fear of vulnerability. The narcissist, with their seemingly impenetrable facade, embodies this paradox, drawing us into a web of intimacy that is both alluring and fraught with danger. It is within this web that we are called to examine our own fears of intimacy and abandonment, to question the narratives we have constructed about love and worthiness. The process of individuation, as I have long emphasized, requires us to engage with these paradoxes, to hold the tension between opposites without collapsing into simplistic dichotomies. It is a process that demands courage and patience, for it often involves traversing the dark night of the soul, a period of profound uncertainty and transformation. In the presence of a narcissist, this journey may be intensified as we are confronted with the stark realities of our own limitations and desires. As we navigate this journey, the role of dreams becomes increasingly significant. Dreams, those nightly sojourns into the unconscious, offer us a rich tapestry of symbols and insights that illuminate our path. In dreams, we may encounter the narcissist in various guises, as a figure of power or as a trickster, challenging us to look beyond appearances and to seek the deeper truths that lie beneath the surface. By engaging with these dream symbols, we gain access to the wisdom of the unconscious, allowing it to guide us toward greater self-awareness and understanding. The journey of individuation also requires us to cultivate a relationship with the archetype of the wise old man or woman, the inner guide who embodies the wisdom of the ages. This archetype serves as a beacon, illuminating our path and offering us the guidance we need to navigate the complexities of our relationships. In the presence of a narcissist, this inner guide can help us discern the difference between illusion and reality, between projection and truth. Furthermore, let us not overlook the role of intuition in this journey. Intuition, that subtle inner knowing, often provides us with insights that elude the rational mind in our interactions with narcissists. Intuition can serve as a compass, guiding us toward authentic connections and away from those that are rooted in illusion. By cultivating our intuitive faculties, we become more attuned to the subtle energies that shape our relationships, allowing us to navigate them with greater clarity and confidence. As we continue to explore the transformative potential of our encounters with narcissists, we must also consider the role of community and support. The narcissist often seeks to isolate us, drawing us into a world of their own making. Yet, it is through the support of others that we find the strength to break free from this isolation. By sharing our experiences and seeking the counsel of those who have walked a similar path, we gain perspective and insight, discovering that we are not alone in our struggles. The presence of a narcissist in our lives is not a mere coincidence, but a call to engage in the deeper work of self-discovery and transformation. It is an invitation to explore the hidden dimensions of our psyche, to embrace the totality of our being, and to awaken to the divine within. By heeding this call, we move closer to the realization of our true selves, to the embodiment of the self that is both individual and universal, both finite and infinite. In conclusion, may we continue to walk this path with courage and compassion, ever mindful of the lessons that life presents and the wisdom that lies within. Let us embrace the journey with open hearts and open minds, trusting in the transformative power of the soul to guide us toward wholeness and fulfillment. And as we do so, may we find the strength to forge connections that are grounded in authenticity and love, transcending the illusions of the ego to embrace the truth of our being. As we advance in our exploration, let us delve into the intricate tapestry of symbols and archetypes that populate the landscape of the unconscious. These symbols, emerging from the depths of the collective unconscious, serve as guides and markers on our journey toward individuation. They speak a language that transcends the rational mind, inviting us to engage with the mystery and wonder of the psyche. The narcissist, as a mirror, is entwined with these symbols, for they often compel us to confront the archetypal energies that lie dormant within us. One such archetype is the hero, whose journey is fraught with trials and challenges, yet ultimately leads to transformation and self-discovery. In our interactions with narcissists, we are called to embark on our own heroic journey, to face the dragons of our inner world and to emerge victorious, having gained a deeper understanding of ourselves. The hero's journey is not a solitary endeavor, but one that requires us to engage with the archetype of the mentor or guide, an inner figure who offers wisdom and support as we navigate the complexities of our path. This guide may manifest in dreams or through synchronistic encounters, offering insights that illuminate our way forward. In the presence of a narcissist, this inner guide can help us discern the lessons that lie hidden within our interactions, allowing us to approach them with curiosity and openness. As we continue this journey, the role of the lover archetype becomes increasingly significant. The lover represents the capacity for connection and intimacy, the ability to merge with another while maintaining a sense of individuality in the presence of a narcissist. Our relationship with this archetype may be tested as we are challenged to balance the desire for closeness with the need for autonomy. By engaging with the lover archetype, we cultivate the ability to form authentic connections that are grounded in mutual respect and understanding. The interplay between these archetypes is mirrored in the alchemical process of transformation, a process that requires us to engage with the elements of fire, water, air, and earth. Fire represents the passion and intensity of our emotions, the burning desire for truth and authenticity. In the presence of a narcissist, this fire may be ignited, urging us to confront the illusions that cloud our vision and to seek the light of self-awareness. Water, on the other hand, symbolizes the realm of emotions and intuition, the fluid and ever-changing nature of the psyche. In our interactions with narcissists, we are invited to dive into the depths of our emotional world, to explore the currents that shape our relationships, and to listen to the whispers of our intuition. By embracing the element of water, we cultivate the ability to navigate the complexities of our inner world with grace and fluidity. Air represents the realm of thought and communication, the capacity for insight and understanding. In the presence of a narcissist, we are challenged to engage with this element, to examine the beliefs and narratives that we hold about ourselves and others. By cultivating clarity of thought and expression, we gain the ability to articulate our needs and desires, to speak our truth with confidence and compassion. Finally, the element of earth symbolizes the grounding and stabilizing forces within us, the capacity to remain centered and present amidst the chaos of life. In our interactions with narcissists, we are called to engage with this element, to cultivate a sense of rootedness and resilience that allows us to withstand the storms of emotion and uncertainty. By embracing the element of earth, we find the strength to stand firm in our truth, to honor our boundaries, and to protect our inner sanctuary. As we weave these elements together, we begin to see the tapestry of our journey taking shape, a tapestry that reflects the richness and complexity of the human experience. It is a journey that calls us to embrace both the light and the shadow, to engage with the full spectrum of our being, and to awaken to the divine within. In conclusion, may we continue to walk this path with courage and compassion, ever mindful of the wisdom that lies within. Let us embrace the journey with open hearts and open minds, trusting in the transformative power of the soul to guide us toward wholeness and fulfillment. And as we do so, may we find the strength to forge connections that are grounded in authenticity and love, transcending the illusions of the ego to embrace the truth of our being. As we continue our exploration of the narcissist as a mirror in our lives, let us delve into the transformative power of the shadow, a concept that lies at the heart of our psychological and spiritual journey. The shadow, as I have often articulated, encompasses the aspects of ourselves that we have relegated to the unconscious. Those parts that we deem unacceptable or unworthy. It is the repository of our repressed desires, fears, and instincts. a crucible of potential transformation, waiting to be acknowledged and integrated. The presence of a narcissist in our lives often acts as a potent trigger for the shadow, bringing to light the unresolved aspects of our psyche that demand our attention. This process, though often uncomfortable, is essential for our growth and individuation, as it compels us to confront the parts of ourselves that we have long ignored. In this confrontation, we are offered the opportunity to reclaim our wholeness, to embrace the totality of our being. The narcissist, in their role as a mirror, reflects the shadow with a clarity that can be both illuminating and disconcerting. They embody the qualities that we may have disowned in ourselves: arrogance, entitlement, or a relentless pursuit of validation, challenging us to recognize these traits within our own psyche. By engaging with this reflection, we begin the process of shadow work, delving into the depths of our unconscious to unearth the hidden treasures that lie within. Shadow work requires us to cultivate a willingness to explore the unknown, to venture into the territories of the psyche that we have avoided out of fear or discomfort. It is a journey of self-discovery that demands humility and courage as we confront the darker aspects of our nature and integrate them into our conscious awareness. Through this integration, we begin to dissolve the barriers between the conscious and unconscious, allowing the light of awareness to illuminate the shadow. This process of integration is akin to the alchemical stage of conjunction, where opposing forces are united to create a new, harmonious whole. In the context of our relationship with a narcissist, conjunction involves the merging of the conscious self with the shadow, creating a more integrated and authentic sense of identity. This union allows us to transcend the dualities of light and dark, good and evil, and to embrace the complexity of our human experience. As we engage in shadow work, we are also called to examine the role of projection in our relationships. Projection, as you may know, is a defense mechanism where we attribute our own unconscious qualities to others. In the presence of a narcissist, we may find ourselves projecting our own unmet needs and insecurities onto them, seeing in them the embodiment of our desires or fears. By recognizing these projections, we begin to reclaim the disowned parts of ourselves, integrating them into our conscious awareness. The process of reclaiming our projections is a journey of self-empowerment. As we take responsibility for our own emotions and experiences, it is a process that requires us to cultivate self-awareness and self-compassion. As we navigate the labyrinthine corridors of the psyche through this journey, we gain the ability to form more authentic connections with others, grounded in mutual respect and understanding. As we continue our exploration, let us also consider the role of the transcendent function, a concept that lies at the heart of psychological transformation. The transcendent function bridges the gap between the conscious and unconscious, facilitating the emergence of new insights and perspectives. In the presence of a narcissist, the transcendent function acts as a catalyst for growth, enabling us to transcend the limitations of our ego and to embrace the fullness of our potential. The activation of the transcendent function often occurs in moments of crisis or conflict, when the old ways of being no longer serve us. It is a process that requires us to surrender to the unknown, to trust in the wisdom of the psyche to guide us toward wholeness. By embracing this process, we open ourselves to the possibility of transformation, allowing the new and unexpected to emerge. In conclusion, the presence of a narcissist in our lives is not a mere coincidence, but a profound opportunity for growth and transformation. They serve as mirrors, reflecting the shadow and inviting us to engage in the deep work of self-discovery and integration. By embracing this journey, we move closer to the realization of our true selves, to the embodiment of the self that is both individual and universal, both finite and infinite. May we continue to walk this path with courage and compassion, ever mindful of the lessons that life presents and the wisdom that lies within. Let us embrace the journey with open hearts and open minds, trusting in the transformative power of the soul to guide us toward wholeness and fulfillment. And as we do so, may we find the strength to forge connections that are grounded in authenticity and love, transcending the illusions of the ego to embrace the truth of our being. As we journey onward in our exploration of the narcissist as a mirror within our lives, let us turn our attention to the profound wisdom that emerges from the interplay of the conscious and unconscious mind. This dynamic interplay is the crucible in which the process of individuation unfolds a journey toward wholeness that requires us to integrate all aspects of the self, both light and shadow. In the presence of a narcissist, we are often confronted with the stark reality of our own projections and defenses. These interactions serve as a mirror, reflecting back to us the aspects of our psyche that we have yet to acknowledge or embrace. The narcissist, with their often exaggerated sense of self-importance, challenges us to examine our own relationship with ego and identity. Through this examination, we are offered the opportunity to transcend the limitations of the ego, to move beyond the narrow confines of self-centeredness and toward a more expansive understanding of self. The journey of individuation calls us to engage with the archetypes that reside within the collective unconscious. These archetypes, such as the hero, the shadow, the anima or animus, and the self, represent universal patterns and themes that shape our inner and outer lives. In our encounters with narcissists, these archetypes come to the fore, inviting us to explore their significance and to integrate their energies into our conscious awareness. The hero archetype, as I have previously mentioned, represents the journey of self-discovery and transformation. In the context of our relationship with a narcissist, the hero's journey involves facing the trials and challenges that arise from this interaction, emerging with a deeper understanding of ourselves and our place in the world. This journey requires us to confront our fears and to cultivate the courage to step into the unknown, trusting in the process of transformation to guide us toward greater wholeness. The shadow archetype, on the other hand, embodies the repressed and denied aspects of our psyche. The narcissist, as a mirror, brings the shadow to light, challenging us to confront the parts of ourselves that we have hidden away. This confrontation is an essential step in the process of individuation, for it is through the integration of the shadow that we gain access to the full spectrum of our being. By embracing our shadow, we transform it from a source of fear and limitation into a wellspring of creativity and potential. The anima or animus represents the inner feminine or masculine aspects of our psyche, respectively. In our interactions with narcissists, these inner figures may be projected onto the narcissist, leading us to perceive them as the embodiment of our ideal partner or soulmate. This projection, however, is an illusion, masking the deeper work that must be done within ourselves. By recognizing and integrating the anima or animus, we achieve a more balanced and harmonious sense of self, allowing us to form authentic connections with others. The self, the archetype of wholeness and integration, lies at the heart of the individuation process. It represents the totality of our being, encompassing both the conscious and unconscious, the known and unknown. In the presence of a narcissist, the self may be obscured, overshadowed by the intensity of the emotional dynamics at play. Yet, by turning inward and cultivating a relationship with the self, we can navigate the complexities of these interactions with greater clarity and purpose. The process of individuation, as I have long emphasized, is a lifelong journey that requires us to engage with the full spectrum of our being. It is a journey that calls us to embrace both the light and the dark, to integrate the disparate aspects of our psyche, and to awaken to the divine within. Through this journey, we move closer to the realization of our true selves, to the embodiment of the self that is both individual and universal, both finite and infinite. In conclusion, the presence of a narcissist in our lives is not a mere coincidence, but a profound opportunity for growth and transformation. They serve as mirrors, reflecting the shadow and inviting us to engage in the deep work of self-discovery and integration. By embracing this journey, we move closer to the realization of our true selves, to the embodiment of the self that is both individual and universal, both finite and infinite. May we continue to walk this path with courage and compassion, ever mindful of the lessons that life presents and the wisdom that lies within. Let us embrace the journey with open hearts and open minds, trusting in the transformative power of the soul to guide us toward wholeness and fulfillment. And as we do so, may we find the strength to forge connections that are grounded in authenticity and love, transcending the illusions of the ego to embrace the truth of our being. As we further our exploration into the dynamic interplay between the narcissist and our inner world, it becomes essential to examine the subtle yet profound influence of the collective unconscious in shaping these interactions. The collective unconscious concept that I have long posited as a reservoir of shared human experience contains archetypal symbols and motifs that inform the way we perceive and engage with the world. These universal patterns, deeply embedded within our psyche, resonate with the core of our being, offering a bridge between our personal experiences and the larger tapestry of human existence. In our encounters with narcissists, these archetypes are often activated stirring within us a sense of recognition and familiarity. This activation can evoke a powerful emotional response, drawing us into a dance of projection and reflection that reveals the underlying dynamics of our relationship with ourselves and others. It is as though the narcissist, in their role as a mirror, amplifies the archetypal energies within us, compelling us to engage with the deeper truths of our psyche. The archetype of the trickster, for instance, often emerges in our interactions with narcissists. The trickster, a figure of paradox and transformation, challenges the status quo and disrupts established patterns, inviting us to question our assumptions and to embrace the possibility of change. The narcissist, embodying this archetype, forces us to confront the illusions we have constructed about ourselves and our relationships, urging us to dismantle the facades that obscure our true nature. In this dismantling, we are called to engage with the archetype of the wounded healer, a figure that embodies the potential for transformation through suffering. The wounded healer archetype reminds us that our wounds, though painful, are also sources of profound wisdom and growth. In the presence of a narcissist, our emotional wounds may be laid bare, bringing to light the unresolved aspects of our past that demand healing and integration. By embracing this archetype, we begin the process of transmuting our suffering into compassion and understanding, allowing us to emerge stronger and more resilient. The interplay between these archetypes is mirrored in the cyclical nature of the individuation process, a journey that is not linear but spirals through cycles of death and rebirth. This cyclical journey is akin to the alchemical process of dissolution and coagulation, where the old ways of being are dissolved to make way for the emergence of a new, more integrated self. In our interactions with narcissists, we are often thrust into this alchemical process, as the intensity of the relationship catalyzes the dissolution of our egoic constructs and the emergence of a more authentic self. This journey requires us to cultivate a deep sense of presence and mindfulness, to remain attuned to the subtle shifts and changes within our inner world. Through mindfulness, we gain the ability to observe our thoughts and emotions without attachment, allowing us to discern the patterns that govern our behavior. In the presence of a narcissist, mindfulness becomes a vital tool, enabling us to navigate the emotional turbulence with clarity and insight, to remain grounded and centered amidst the chaos. As we deepen our practice of mindfulness, we become more attuned to the whispers of our intuition, more aware of the guiding presence of the self within us. This inner guidance, often experienced as a quiet knowing or a sense of alignment, offers us a compass as we navigate the complexities of our relationships. By trusting in this guidance, we gain the courage to make choices that honor our truth and integrity, to step into the fullness of our potential. In this journey of transformation, the role of creativity cannot be understated. Creativity, in its myriad forms, offers us a means of expression and exploration, a way to give voice to the inexpressible and to engage with the mysteries of the psyche. Through creative pursuits, we tap into the wellspring of inspiration and insight that lies within, allowing the unconscious to speak and to be heard. This creative engagement becomes a conduit for healing and integration, a way to bridge the gap between the conscious and unconscious, to weave the disparate threads of our being into a cohesive whole. In conclusion, the presence of a narcissist in our lives is not merely a challenge, but a profound opportunity for growth and transformation. They serve as mirrors, reflecting the archetypal energies within us and inviting us to engage in the deep work of self-discovery and integration. By embracing this journey, we move closer to the realization of our true selves, to the embodiment of the self that is both individual and universal, both finite and infinite. May we continue to walk this path with courage and compassion, ever mindful of the lessons that life presents and the wisdom that lies within. Let us embrace the journey with open hearts and open minds, trusting in the transformative power of the soul to guide us toward wholeness and fulfillment. And as we do so, may we find the strength to forge connections that are grounded in authenticity and love, transcending the illusions of the ego to embrace the truth of our being. As we continue to navigate the labyrinthine pathways of the psyche, let us delve deeper into the transformative potential that lies within the encounter with the narcissist. This journey, often marked by moments of intense introspection and revelation, invites us to explore the rich tapestry of our inner world, to engage with the full spectrum of our being, and to awaken to the divine within. The narcissist, in their role as a mirror, serves as a catalyst for this awakening, reflecting back to us the disowned aspects of our psyche that yearn for integration. They challenge us to confront the illusions of the ego, to question the narratives we have constructed about our identity and worth. In this confrontation, we are offered the opportunity to transcend the limitations of the ego, to move beyond the surface-level concerns of self-image and validation, and to embrace a more expansive understanding of self. This process of transcendence is mirrored in the archetypal journey of the alchemist who seeks to transform base metals into gold, a metaphor for the transformation of the self. The alchemical journey requires us to engage with the elements of our psyche, to undergo a process of purification and refinement that leads to the emergence of the true self. In our interactions with narcissists, we are often thrust into this alchemical process as the intensity of the relationship catalyzes the dissolution of our egoic constructs and the emergence of a more authentic self. The journey toward authenticity requires us to cultivate a deep sense of self-awareness, to engage in the practice of self-reflection and introspection. Through this practice, we gain the ability to observe our thoughts and emotions with clarity and detachment, allowing us to discern the patterns that govern our behavior. In the presence of a narcissist, self-reflection becomes a vital tool, enabling us to navigate the emotional turbulence with insight and wisdom, to remain grounded and centered amidst the chaos. As we deepen our self-awareness, we become more attuned to the guiding presence of the self within us. This inner guidance, often experienced as a quiet knowing or a sense of alignment, offers us a compass as we navigate the complexities of our relationships. By trusting in this guidance, we gain the courage to make choices that honor our truth and integrity, to step into the fullness of our potential, the process of transformation also requires us to engage with the archetype of the warrior, a figure that embodies courage, resilience, and strength. In our encounters with narcissists, we are called to embody the warrior archetype, to stand firm in our truth and to protect our boundaries. This requires us to cultivate a sense of inner strength and determination to face the challenges that arise with courage and resolve. The warrior's journey is one of empowerment, a journey that requires us to reclaim our power and to assert our autonomy. In the presence of a narcissist, this journey may be fraught with obstacles. As we navigate the dynamics of control and manipulation, yet by embracing the warrior archetype, we gain the ability to overcome these obstacles, to assert our needs and desires, and to forge a path that is aligned with our highest self. As we continue this journey, we must also consider the role of forgiveness and compassion in our interactions with narcissists. Forgiveness, as I have often emphasized, is not an endorsement of harmful behavior, but a release of the hold that past experiences have over us. It is an act of liberation, freeing us from the chains of resentment and allowing us to move forward with an open heart. Compassion, too, plays a vital role in this process, as it allows us to see beyond the surface level behaviors and to recognize the underlying pain and insecurity that may drive the narcissist's actions. By cultivating compassion, we create the possibility for healing and reconciliation, both within ourselves and in our relationships with others. In conclusion, the presence of a narcissist in our lives is not merely a challenge, but a profound opportunity for growth and transformation. They serve as mirrors, reflecting the archetypal energies within us and inviting us to engage in the deep work of self-discovery and integration. By embracing this journey, we move closer to the realization of our true selves, to the embodiment of the self that is both individual and universal, both finite and infinite. May we continue to walk this path with courage and compassion, ever mindful of the lessons that life presents and the wisdom that lies within. Let us embrace the journey with open hearts and open minds, trusting in the transformative power of the soul to guide us toward wholeness and fulfillment. And as we do so, may we find the strength to forge connections that are grounded in authenticity and love, transcending